So I'll be using a 6.5mm hook for this project. I'll also be doubling my strand to give it that bulky effect since I do not have a bulky yarn. Now we're trying to make a magic chain by turning our yarn twice around our first two fingers and pulling through just like that. Now be careful not to let go of the string. Yeah, you hold it firmly between your fingers and then do a chain to 1, 2, just like that. That's going to be our starting chain for each row. Now we're doing a double crochet. To do that, you yarn over, you pull through. We have 3 loops on our hook. Now you pull through 2 loops and you have 2 left and pull through the last 2 loops just like that. Now let's take that again. Yarn over, pull through, you have 3 loops on your hook, pull through just 2, you have 2 left, now pull through another 2. So you're going to do a total of 8 double crochets around your magic ring. Be careful not to let go of the string. Yeah, so I have a total of my 8 double crochets. Now I'll be trying to close up that loop. Yes, because we do not want to have that big gap at the top of our hat. So you pull that string gently but firmly enough to ensure you close up that loop. Just like that. Yeah, I think there's still a bit of space, so I've pulled a little bit more to close it up totally. Yeah, so now we have to close up our row 1 by doing a slip stitch into the starting chain. So be careful not to make that mistake. Oops, I put it through the first double crochet. So make sure you check very well and be sure you are putting your hook through the chain 2. Now you put your hook through and pull out a loop. That was hard for me because my hook is actually very big, so I had to do that off camera. Yeah, so this is perfect. Perfect circle for row 1. Now moving on to row 2, just like we started row 1, you do 2 chains, 1 and 2, just like that. That's our starting chain. Then you put 2 double crochets into the first double crochet, 1 and 2. That's because we are trying to do an increment. So the increment for row 2 is going to be putting 2 double crochets into each of the double crochet that we add in chain 1, in row 1 rather. So at the end of row 2 you should have a total of 16 double crochets. Remember, you are putting 2 double crochets into each of the 8 double crochets we add in row 1 to give us a total of 16 double crochets. Now I have my 16. Now we have to close up row 1 by putting a slip stitch through the starting chain, so just like we did previously, just like that. Here, so we have a perfect circle for our row 2. Now to start our row 3, you're starting with 2 chains again, 1, 2, just like that. Now the increment pattern for row 3 is different from that of row 2. For row 3, you're going to put 2 double crochets into the first one. In the second one, you put just 1, and then in the third one, you put 2 again. In the fourth, you put just 1. So you're basically alternating 2, 1, 2, 1 pattern, just like that. So you maintain this pattern all the way around till you get to the end of row 3. Remember, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, and be careful not to lose count. It's easy to do that, although it's also very easy for you to keep track. So since we add 16 in row 2, in row 3 we should be having a total of 24, just like that. Yeah, so to close up like we've been doing, you do a slip stitch by putting your hook through the starting chain 2. Remember, do not put it into the first double crochet but rather into the starting chain 2, just like that. Put it through here and pull, and then pull through just like that. That's a perfect slip stitch to close up our row 3. Now moving on to row 4, you're starting with chain 2, just like we've been doing, 1 and 2, just like that. Now the increment pattern for row 4 is also different from that of row 3. Now watch this. You're putting 2 double crochet into the first one, 1 double crochet, just like that, then 2 double crochet into the same stitch. Now into the second one, you're putting just 1 double crochet. Into the third, you put in another 1 double crochet. So the pattern, the increment pattern for row 4 is 2, 1, 1. So you maintain that pattern of putting 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 1 1 increments for row 4. So you maintain that all the way around till you get to the end of row 4. Like I said, be careful not to lose count. It's very easy for that to happen. So at the end of row 4, you should have a total of 32 double crochets. So if you are not sure, just cross check by counting your double crochets to ensure that you have a total of 32, not less and not more, at the end of row 4. So you keep at that all the way till you get to the end. Now I've gotten to the end. I have just one double crochet left to complete this row. Then I put in my last double crochet just like that, and then we close up our row 4 by doing a slip stitch into the starting chain 2, just like we've been doing. Be careful not to put it into the first double crochet. So you pull through and pull through just like that. Yeah, so we've closed up our row 4. Perfect circle. Now row 4 is actually the last of our increment. Moving forward from row 5, we won't be doing any increment anymore. We'll just maintain the pattern of putting just 1 double crochet all the way around. So we are maintaining 32 double crochets from row 5 till we get to row 9. Remember, we are not doing any increment anymore. Just 1 double crochet into each double crochet all the way around till you get to the end of row 5, and you repeat this pattern till you get to row 9. Row 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just 1 double crochet each from the beginning to the end. You close up by doing a slip stitch into your chain 2. You start by doing a chain 2 and then going all the way around. So I'll just do this off camera since we are not really doing anything different, and I'll meet you up when we get to row 9. Okay, so here I am at row 17. I know I said we're going to meet up at row 9, but I had to alter this pattern a bit for it to fit into my head. I have a very super duper full hair, and I realized that stopping the increment at row 4 wasn't going to work for me. It made the hat too narrow for it to fit into my head, so I had to do one more increment at row 5, an increment of 2 1 1 1, and that made the hat wide enough to fit into my head. Also for the length, I couldn't stop at row 9 or 10 or 12 or 14 as some people would, for because the longer the hat, the more slouchy it's going to be. So I had to add more rows, which gave me a total of 17 rows, and this made the hat wide enough and long enough for it to give me that slouch effect that I want. Yeah, so feel free to alter this design to suit your size. That's the beauty of handmade projects. Yeah, so like I said, for me, my 17th row is my last row of double crochets, and don't forget, yours does not have to be 17. You can alter the pattern to suit your size. So now we are moving on to the last row, which for me is the 18th row, and for this row we'll be doing just 1 chain instead of 2 chains like we've been doing at the start of each row. And then also, instead of doing a double crochet, we'll be doing just single crochet. And now to do a single crochet, you put your hook through the first stitch, and you pull through. Once you pull through, that gives you 2 loops on your hook. Now you pull through both loops at once. As simple as that. That is how to do a single crochet. Now let's take that again. Put your hook through, pull through, and pull through both loops. Let's do that one more time. Put your hook, pull through, and then pull your yarn through both loops. So it's as simple as that. You maintain this pattern of doing a single crochet all the way around till you get to the end of that row. And yeah, I've gotten to the end of my single crochet row, which is my 18th row, and now I'm about to do the last stitch, and just like that's my last single crochet for the row. Yeah, perfect. And just like we've been closing all other previous rows, we have to close this row just like that. So you put your hook through that chain 1 that you started with and do a slip stitch just like that. And yes, we've come to the end of our slouch hats of our single crochet row, and to secure, you can just go ahead and make 1 chain and pull through. That's the end. You just pull through like that, and then get a pair of scissors and snap it off just like that. Once you do that, you pull it firmly, and for some people they could just cut off the loose end like that if they're sure it's not going to come loose. But for me, I get my tapestry needle. I just choose the perfect size for my yarn, for whatever yarn I'm using, and I put my yarn through the needle just like that. And you can sew the loose end in whatever direction you want. You could go horizontally or vertically, and for me, I try to sew in different directions, both horizontally, vertically, and I go in as far as I can. This is just to ensure I'm securing it perfectly, because I do not want my loose ends coming loose when I'm probably washing my hat, or anyhow, just to keep it secure. And then don't forget the loose strand at the beginning of the project as well. Make sure you sew that in to secure every loose end. Thank you for watching.